What do you love most about Popaw?
What I love most is that he's always caring, dependable, and he's just always there for me at like my
What I
concerts.
love most about Popaw is that he will go out of his way to help me or anyone for that matter to make sure they're taken care of.
There is no bigger fan than Popaw. He is everyone's biggest fan, especially the grandkids, and everyone's so lucky to have that because not everybody gets to have something like that.
What I love most about him is how sweet and endearing he is to all of his children and grandchildren. He's so sweet, he cares about them, he'll do anything for them, and to me that's very important.
That he always puts family first and he's always there to support everyone in his family.
Love that Popaw is just always there for everyone, every time, whether it be a sporting event, family event, obviously he's just always everywhere for everyone.
Popaw, that he's always there for us, like no matter what's going on, no matter if we're sick or we need a ride home from school or just anything, coming to my basketball games, my tennis matches, you're always there for everything and nothing in the world will stop you from coming.
Most about Popaw is that whenever you need him anywhere, he's always like there for someone.
I'll say the best thing I love about Popaw is his kindness and his generosity, especially to his family. He always puts his family first no matter what, and he just loves everyone and everyone in our family.
What I love most about Popaw is through all the years, through thick and thin, you could always count on Popaw when you needed him. If you called, he came.
What I love most about Popaw is his love for family. Being loved by Popaw is the greatest gift because it's unconditional and never wavers.
He really loves his family, and I think that's a good quality to have, and I feel the same.
Family comes first for him, and he pretty much has taught me, and and learned from that. And that's what I love most about him, that family comes first.
Puts his family above everything else. He loves everyone to death, and he'd do anything and everything for them, and I admire that most about him.
He just represents love to me because he loves everybody, he cares about everybody, and all he wants to do is anything big or small to make his family happy. So Popaw represents love to me.
There for me as for the rest of the grandchildren, and he treats me very special, and he's always there for me, and I know that I'm about to play a lacrosse game and I hear a Sid, Sid, Sid from the audience, and I love his positivity because he really just, if I play a bad game and I'm upset, it's just hearing him saying, you did great, shake it off, pull it together, like that just makes me feel great after it.
I love how he used to come to all of our basketball games growing up, and it was really nice. You could always count on him being there.
Popaw is how, just as a grandfather, just how sincere he is. He is a family person. Everything's about his family.
How much Popaw loves his family, all of us. He treats us all really, really
From my
nice.
perspective, he's always seemed to, he has a big family, obviously, and he's always just seemed to be the dad of the whole family, and for an event like this or any get-together, kind of the dad for the entire everybody, including my family and everyone else. And I know he was the big brother to my dad, and I think that's really cool because I'm a big brother also. So I always really liked how he
that I always loved was his love of sports. Whenever we were around, we were talking about Syracuse basketball or football or lacrosse, and every time I watched Syracuse on TV, there's a certain smile because it related to the family. But that's an aspect, just remember seeing him at sporting events over the year, just something to bond over, and one aspect that I really love.
What have you learned most from Popaw?
What I've learned most from Popaw is to have a positive attitude in like negative situations because of his constant positivity and encouragement.
I've learned the importance of being selfless, so relating to what I loved about Popaw. He will always help other people and put them before himself, and that's the thing I've taken away from him, and I've strived to be more like him in that way.
I've learned from him how to be nice when I don't feel like being nice, and trying to be loving
when I don't really feel like being that way, because he will do that no matter what. Like, he always will love you, and I think that's a good trait to have.
The importance of loyalty to family and making sure that, again, that you're there when people need you. He always is, and that's a great example.
Most from Popaw, I've learned a lot of things. Probably just the importance of family. Like, he really puts family before anything in the world. Like, that is truly what he's about, and that's what makes him so awesome.
Honestly, never take anything lying down. That if someone tells you something that you don't agree with or that goes against what our values are, which are don't take anything from everybody and just be nice to people, that you stand up for yourself and the people that are hurt. And Pawpaw's always done that. Pawpaw, I just remember my last day of school when you were picking me up from school, there's a homeless man on the side of the road who said he just had surgery, and you stopped and you gave him money, and it's been some of the biggest things you've shared.
I've learned that if someone really needs help, he will always be there to help them and care about them.
I think going along those same lines, the main thing I learned from Popaw is that giving to others is like the most important, and putting others first. He doesn't care really what's going on with himself as long as his family is doing okay and everyone's healthy and happy. He is.
I've learned to be the exact same kind of guy. My kids need me, I'm there for them.
What I've learned from Popaw is consideration for the other person, because you don't know their circumstance.
I've learned, of course, just what I said, family is important, but I've learned that pretty much to stay true to yourself and who you are, and take care of your family, and everything will work itself.
What's that family does come first before anything. And I've tried to remember that when I have
Learn from Popaw is definitely to give what you have to others, and your family's the most important thing. There's definitely not a more generous man than I know than Popaw, and I admire and love him greatly.
I've learned safety from Popaw. Popaw is always a big safety fan. To this day, I unplug my curling irons when I'm done with them, and he's just always concerned about doors being locked and things being unplugged, and that has carried over, and I do those things
I've learned
today.
to be there for other people. He is there for like nobody other for family that I've ever seen in my life, and I never feel like I'm alone. He'll always be there for me, and always has, and I've never ever had that. I'm so lucky to have that, because I've never had that with anybody in my entire life like I've had it with him, and I'm
What have I
grateful.
learned from Popaw? I've learned to be a buddy to people, because he's probably the biggest buddy or supporter to me in my life. And if my friends are going through something, or my cousins or family, or even Popaw himself, I always want to be there for him, and he's really taught me that in my life.
I learned the importance of hard work. It kind of ties in with the first one, but the encouragement of keep working and trying hard, whether it's basketball or whatever, always applies. Something I still use.
I've learned from Popaw that if anyone messes with us, he's going to give us one of these, or them one of these.
A snocker.
Yes.
Learn from Popaw how to be a good father. Definitely that.
Probably just to do that, to be the dad to everybody. That's what I always thought was really cool, the way he did that, and just kind of be welcoming to everybody, and just, I don't know, I mean, I think I'm a nice person, but he always just seemed to be like, he seemed to welcome everybody no matter who it was, whether he knew them, and I always thought that was a really neat thing, so.
I believe the family thing more than anything. He really is great with such a big family. He's at everything, and when I talk to him, that's his passion. He's excited about the lacrosse games, the soccer games. He's just you would see him at those events, and the family seems to be the most important thing, and I think that's something that we can all learn.
And what's your best memory with Popaw?
My best memory with Popaw is when he's at his happiest, like at events like Refreshing Mountain or Beach Week, where he's like all happy and he's positive. I love that.
Memories with Popaw probably come from the numerous Syracuse games we've gone to. So whether it was at the Garden or at the Carrier Dome. We always had good times eating a varsity pizza, going around shopping, or whether it was Popaw telling two guys behind us to shut up when they were fighting over a spilled beer. So Syracuse games always
I
gave
have
us
a lot of memories with him. All of our trips, all of the things that we've gotten to see, Paris, Germany, Rome, everything. It was just wonderful. My whole life's
favorite memories of Popaw is when he would be Santa and call the kids when they were little as Santa, and when they were small and they didn't know it was him. And he always did such a good job with that, and they were always so excited to talk to Santa.
If I had to say one thing that jumps out in my mind is when Andrew, before he was born, when Anna and Louise was going into labor and he found out, I think he was at the hospital before we were. And that just kind of tells you who Popaw is, because again, when it comes to anything with family, he's always
Best
there.
memory. Honestly, one of my favorite memories, well, it's multiple memories, I guess, kind of, but when we used to go to the Big East tournament, New York City, Madison Square Garden, my first time there, he took us multiple times, and those were some of the best times that we all had.
I have two best memories.
All right, go ahead.
One, a little more jokingly, is the time, my first Syracuse basketball game. Syracuse was playing Villanova at Villanova. And I remember, Popaw, those were their obnoxious college kids sitting in front of us. And they were standing up and cheering, but they wouldn't sit down. So there were four of them, and you grabbed two in each hand, and then you said to them, I said sit down. And you pulled all four of them down, because this was my first Syracuse game, and I'm like, I can't see the game. You made sure I could see the game.
Oh.
And then a little more seriously, a few years ago, I think I was in 6th grade, when Meredith was dancing in Florida, and you drove me from Pennsylvania to Florida in just 2 days. We stopped in Georgia, I remember, overnight, and then we got to Florida the next day. And you didn't take me to just one place. You took me to both Universal the first day and Disney World the second day. That was one of the best summers of my life, and it's all because of you, Popaw.
When he drove all the way down to Florida just to watch me perform for about 5 minutes. He did a whole 12-hour long car ride just to come watch me perform. That was probably my favorite.
My best memory of Popaw was having him come or take me to all the basketball games over all the years, no matter where they were. He was always
What's
there.
your best memory with Popaw?
My best memory of Popaw is every year we used to go to Florida. And one year we went in an RV, and when we went in the RV, I was so amazed when I woke up on Easter Sunday and the Easter Bunny came and brought gifts for all of us and candy. And I was so amazed that the Easter Bunny knew where Florida was and that he found us in the RV.
Paul and I went to China to the Olympics together. We had a good time, and we really enjoyed it, and that's what I really remember.
Best memory, there's a lot of different ones, but the trips, lots of trips. I was fortunate enough to be able to do a lot of things because of Popaw, go a lot of places because of Popaw, and my kids got to enjoy that because of Popaw. So the trips, probably more than anything, is probably.
But I love how Popaw, he never missed any of his kids or grandkids events. He's been at all my sporting events or anything else, and I love that. And all the times at Jellystone with him were fun, and going down to the beach. And I guess specifically, he took me up to Penn State to see Joe Paterno get his 400th win. That's a fond memory I have with him. And then all the Syracuse games, specifically when we were at Villanova, and he told some young knuckleheads in front of us to sit down, and when they weren't obliging, he just grabbed them by their jackets and pulled them in their seats. So he never lets anything bad happen to his family. So.
I would say is when I was in college, he used to come up to Syracuse for work, and I would be homesick a lot, and he would always come pick me up and get me something to eat, and I'd spend the night in the hotel with him, and he'd just give me a little dose of home that I missed so much. And it was always, when I'd come out of my dorm, when I'd see his car parked there, or when I'd come out of class and he'd be standing there, it just made my day. And it was, it's one of the best memories that I have.
Popaw is probably one being when he used to take me up to Jim Max and get me black raspberry ice cream, and then I would want to play those coin games, and he'd give me quarter after quarter after quarter, and I'm pretty sure the bank probably went bankrupt after he gave me that many quarters. And it wasn't for anything important, just like little toys, but it made me feel special, and I just wanted to...
When he picked me up from basketball camp, Sixers basketball camp in the Poconos, interesting incident in the championship game. I'll let, he knows what I'm talking about, we can leave it at that. But it was definitely a fun memory, something I still laugh about, and I'm thankful that he was able to come get me.
When younger, when we rented a car and we drove all around, Jared getting sunburned, I got sunburned, and Papa telling us, "I told you so." Those are some of the best memories, and obviously now with
going to Popaw's when I was really young, and going through all of the basketball cars and football cars that my dad and his brothers had, and Papa just saying, "You can have these, take all of these," and he would tell us who each of the players were because they were very old, and we didn't know who they were.
A favorite memory of Popaw, it's difficult to choose just one. I would say over the years, as a child through high school and even a little bit of college, that he would always come to my sporting events and always be very supportive of everything that I did. So narrowing it down to just one memory is very difficult, but the fact that he was always there from the days at the YMCA to Country Day to Hempfield, and everything in between, I really, really appreciated his support throughout the years. And that would probably be my best memory of Popaw, things relating to athletics growing up.
I'm going to say just a recent memory. Our dad just passed away a couple months ago, and Jim was there the entire time the past few days, and we were there almost the entire time. We'd go home and sleep a little, but he stayed there the whole time, and it was really a comfort to have him there, and we spent a lot of time there talking, reminiscing a little, and it was just such an amazing thing that he was there the whole time, because of course it was difficult for us, and it just was the biggest help ever. So there's memories from when I was younger, but that one really sticks in my head from recent.
Best memory I would say is how he and my dad and his sisters were always together. No matter what was going on in their lives, they got together for breakfast all the time. Occasionally I'd come home and they'd be sitting there talking, or it's just ties into that same family thing, but I just love that they were always close and always there for each other.
I love you, Popaw.
I love you, Popaw.
I love you, Papa.
I love you, Papa.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, Papa.
It's all because of you, Papa. Love you, Papa. Thank you.
Love you, Papa. Love you, Papa.
Love you, Dad.
Love you, Papa.
And I love you, Papa.
All right, thank you, Papa. I love you.
I love you, Dad.
Love you, Papa. Merry Christmas.
I love you, Papa. I love you, Papa.
Love you, Papa.
Love you, Jim.
Love you, Jim.
Love you, Papa. For everything, Papa. I love you.
I wanted to know that. I love you, Papa.